live. Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne with Itze. Today with a special guest. You saw him, or you should see him on the left. It's Glovir, aka Guilherme Neves, 2024 MSO champion. Am I right?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Yeah, the pleasure is all mine, actually, because I'm so happy to have a guest again. And this time it seems that all tech things are working quite nicely. Sound is fine. Video is there. Great. So what's on the menu today? It's Poland, Chile. And we have 5 tables as usual. I'd consider more or less the first 4 to be pretty close. Maybe the 5th one, there I'd favor UI Scooty. Oh, I forgot to close my window. I let Glovir talk a bit about the 4 tables. So go on. I still hear you.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, it's gonna be a close match. I feel like the top 4 tables surely are going to be very close ones. Despite in table 1, I would probably favor MTW over, I don't know, Asheras. Table 2, I think it's very even. I mean, Ricci is already a master. Veneria, I don't think is a master quite yet, but he won the Grand Prix in 2023, so never discount the MSO winner. Table 3 for me, it's I think a toss-up, but I would favor Claudio Jorquera, purely on yellow. Table 4, I really don't have that great of an experience with either of those players. So for me, it's a complete toss-up. And table 5, 2 strong players, but I think we need to favor UI Scooty. So if I had to bet, 3-2 for either side, but Carcassonne is Carcassonne, and odd things can happen and do happen, in fact. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think you are spot on. So a 3-2 in anyone's favor would be my guess as well. I'd slightly favor Poland, especially on table 5, as I said, and on table 1 where MTU, by the way, MTU is fine. He only added the second U because BGA didn't allow 3 letter nicknames. So that's just, you can leave it off. And the other 3 tables, definitely more or less toss-ups. Maybe slight favorite would be Claudio on table 3 for me as well. But we'll see about that. So we still have 3 minutes to go. Let's check their tournament so far, at least the playoff part of it. So we are having Chile over here, and there are the games. So versus Italy, they played 4 deciders, only 1 away from the maximum 5. Versus the USA, they played 3 deciders, so pretty close matches for them. For Poland, it was a bit different. They ousted France decisively with the 4-1. France only was able to win 1 table, and this was even only with the decider. And then a closer game versus the UK. I guess we all witnessed it, especially the match between Matt and UI Scooty, where in the second game, I don't know what Matt was thinking, but I guess not much, at least in that specific moment where he blundered away the second game. And he could have played a decider, and it would have been great, but it wasn't. So Poland advanced to the semis, and now we're here. Still 3 minutes, because I'm not really sure why, but they scheduled the match in the round of 16, I guess by accident, a 1 minute after the full hour or a half hour and stick to it. Maybe as a
I
lucky
like that
charm or something.
consistency. It's not a mistake if you do it 3 times, it's a feature now.
Yeah, I think the first one was a mistake, and then they won, and maybe they are a bit superstitious. I don't know. We'd
Uh,
have to ask. I think MTU is the captain, so maybe he will be on later. Then we could ask him. Yeah.
that would be fun to know. If the counter strategy is to negotiate hard on the timing.
Yeah, I think in the end, what was the problem there? Japan, Thailand, for example, they couldn't negotiate another time than the given time in the rules by the WTCOC organizers, so Carcassonne.cat. And if you'd wanna annoy the Poles, could have just said, no, we play on the prescribed time and nothing else. But I mean, come on, it's a game. We still aspirations. I don't care about them. We still play in the end for fun, or at least,
Yeah.
yeah.
At least you won't burn any bridges to get the timing 1 minute past the
Yeah,
that's the
maybe, maybe.
schedule. Maybe it's a bit too
Okay.
much.
Yeah, but at least BGA sticks to their schedule, Poland's and Chile's schedule. So no start at, what is it, 4 UTC, 4 p.m. UTC. So 6 o'clock my time. What's your time zone? UTC plus 1? Or is it
Plus
UTC?
1, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
So
it's 5:01 now.
yeah, it's so they should have started or should start now.
Mhm.
Well, I hit refresh until I see a 0% somewhere, which would indicate a starting game. Okay. If it still takes a lot, would you favor excuse me, would you favor any of the two teams versus Japan in the final game, in the final match? Or would you say
No,
no,
I don't
no,
think we can
no?
favor anyone against Japan.
Okay.
They are just so consistently dominating. It's actually insane to me that they won this tournament. What is it, 3 times already?
Four
And
times
yeah,
actually.
4.
And
I miscounted one, sorry. And are in the finals once again. It's amazing, honestly.
yeah, and I
And it's
think the
always
one
amazing
time,
to root against them. I mean, I'm always like have a lingering feeling of they can't win again, right? But they can, and they do.
yeah, at least they lost the one time in the quarterfinals 2 years ago,
Yeah,
I think. So there
yeah,
is
sounds
still
about right.
hope. And same question versus Ukraine. Would you say Ukraine is definitely the favorite, no matter if they play Poland or Chile, or do you
Yeah,
see
I
a
think
world
Ukraine is
where
also.
Ukraine loses?
I see a world in which Ukraine loses, but if you ask me if that's the likelier option, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Ukraine likes a stellar matchup like 9 out of 10 masters. You can't
yeah,
discount that.
yeah. Looks like they are online, but
I don't
PGA
see the
doesn't
table
start the
yet.
tournaments.
BJ also didn't like to be 1 minute after the time and decided, no.
No, no, now it's 2 minutes actually.
Oh my.
Oh, there's MTU on our stream. Looks like he's waiting as well. Hi MTU, good luck. Oh, damn it. You could have let us known earlier. So we have to do something for 2 minutes, I guess. Well, let me check the tool actually. something in the way here. Oh yeah, it works. Okay, fine. So for the folks in the chat, chat with us and I might highlight your messages on stream. If you don't, I can't, of course. Okay, so yeah, for me it's the same. I'd say as I favor Poland slightly today, I think they would have a better chance versus Ukraine, but only ever so slightly. And still, I'd favor Ukraine in the bronze medal match against any of these two.
Yeah, absolutely. But that doesn't mean they can't win.
Yeah, well,
It's
of
like a
course not.
favor, but they
As you
definitely
said,
pose stronger position, and they are here, the semifinals, which is an amazing feat in it as itself.
yeah,
So
definitely.
never. Mhm.
Except for Japan, all three teams have reached the semis this year for the first time. So it's definitely a feat and a great accomplishment for all of them. And as you said, it's still Carcassonne. Everything's possible. And here we go. Oh, I didn't mention the tile tracker. I put it out of the way for now. I'll open it later on if we need it.
Mhm.
Looks like they are playing quite fast, at least in the beginning.
Yeah, some standard moves.
Yeah, Adan closing the first city for 8 points.
Yeah,
Pretty
MTU
ordinary.
responding with a loop.
Yeah,
Also getting himself a
taking the
city cap.
city. Yep.
Ah, now we need to favor the Chilean player. First monastery of the game, very well placed, controlling the Polish man's city.
Yeah, and yellow goes for a blocking option from the bottom. Would have, of
Yeah,
course,
also
taken
scoring
2
2
points off.
points. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, if you were Adan, would you go up top
Oh,
or rather over here and take the field?
I think I'll go next to the monastery, take the field.
Over
So
here.
they had already 2 city caps,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
would also exert some pressure on the city. And now we allow them to grab the field.
Yep. Exactly. That's why I would have done that move as well. Let's see. MTU is always good for specific, interesting moves, and that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, that is. I
He
suppose they
might,
didn't want to give a monastery point, and Mandel also wanted to control that city, so
yeah, he sure wanted to obstruct here.
yeah. You could also have gone on the bottom next to the monastery, but then you would give up the blocking space, so maybe he's keen on blocking that monastery. That's why he
Yeah.
didn't want to entangle them together.
Yep, quite likely. And only a question how he'd orientate it. And he
Mhm.
chooses a field to the bottom, which is fine, I think, although field to the right side, he could use straights to easier kill this one.
Yeah, that's true. But maybe
But
he doesn't want the opponent to get a starting town, have a nicer looking city, and maybe he doesn't want
exactly,
to invest the time of blocking, actually just leave it like this and basically
exactly.
stuck the monastery for some time.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely the better placement. Okay.
Now, the Chilean still has a point scoring advantage. but the field is already 15 points. And then you has two monasteries now. Also two monasteries for, I don't know, Asheras.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close. Problem for yellow could be that he already has some vulnerable meeples in play, and in the end, his lead right now, at least if the game were over, depends more or less on this field. And so if blue manages to attack the field somehow with the meeple majority, he would definitely take the lead here.
Yeah, blue is definitely thinking about ways to attack the field, and the field is so massive, there's plenty of entry options, if not now, in the future, certainly.
Yeah,
So if they can leverage that meeple advantage to get the field, they'll be in a pretty good position.
yeah, I think for now it's 5. It's becoming 7 cities quite likely, maybe even more. So my bet would be on the one to win the field, to win the game as well. And for now, the tie would favor blue, but this could change, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Takes the safe route, just attacking the city, preventing yellow from running away with it. Also limits completion of this monastery, because blue quite likely won't ever play anything over there, just expanding their side of the city on the right side, waiting for yellow to fill this square. And yellow will quite likely first go here and then up top. Second farmer by yellow. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yellow released the road earlier than grabbing those 3 points, just because of this idea to then complete the city and drop the farmer there. Because I don't think he wanted to complete the city and then kind of get this road stuck, especially since the field is really looking like the main feature of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and blue limits at least the field on the bottom left side. So for now, it doesn't look like a fieldless win would be possible, but it could be in the end. The scoring gap right now is only 10 points, and if yellow connects over here, it will only be 7. Okay, 10 again. But I think that's close enough for blue if they'd be able to score more points with cities or create another field to not even need to fight for this main field. And then my prediction would be or could be wrong.
The field is still pretty big and it's only going to get bigger. So, but it does have a good, decent amount of green spaces. But blue can definitely go for a fieldless win condition. There are still like two monasteries. There is a 6 point spot immediately to be grabbed. Yellow doesn't really have the meeples to do it. So kind of depends on the timing, because blue might find it easier to attack the field and then to wait for the monasteries to come.
Yeah.
And
Blues.
yellow recognizes that they need those some meeples in hand, so they release the monastery.
Yeah, I think that move definitely was a no-brainer for MTU. Blue's problem could be that this monastery depends on the last starting tile here. Oh, they go for the field attack.
Ah.
And now we have fireworks going on.
Yeah, we have fireworks. I'm not quite sure how I feel about the field attack.
I think
Maybe it's a must, but
I don't think it's a must. I think it's a bit early. But
yeah,
at least it's in a position where you would profit from yellow trying to liberate the monastery meeple. And you
that's true.
could
But also
exert
Blue
pressure
has
on
the
the city.
monastery meeple there. Yeah. So if yellow blocks that spot, it's also blocking blue's monastery. So effectively, really loses two meeples to one of
Yep.
yellow and still is not close to getting into the field. So I think it was a bit too early to protect
Yep.
the field, especially from that spot.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I would have waited. Maybe
But the kind,
even would have gone over here, not caring about the starting tile.
yeah, that's also, I think that's also a good idea. Just force MTU to make a choice whether he wants to block or give us the option to defend and then get like a 5 point road potentially
Yeah.
if we find it right.
Yep. 5 or maybe 3 if he would have used this.
Mm.
Yep. And
Yeah, that
there
spot
could be
is
a block
looking
incoming.
a bit dangerous.
And if you can't do anything about it, attack your opponent at another place.
Yeah, I can do a choice, but I think that choice is still to block the entry to the field.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, blue limits yellow city to the starting tile. As I said, there's only the one remaining, so both need it now. Yellow kills this
Also,
square.
blue defends his entry to the field to the top. There are still at least two Doritos I see.
Let's make it easier. We
It
have
was
a
the
tile
splitter, yeah.
counter. Let's use it. And this square, as indicated by this slightly red tinted square, is dead. Yellow, that's a typical MTU move. Just taking the points here because he knows blue would connect with one of the, as you said, 3 remaining pieces. And if that's the case, then at least he would get this city. And it's still completable, of course.
Yeah, still completable. Even if it's not completable, it's just something that blue is going to have to deal with if he wants to know the field. And
Yeah.
even if blue gets one nipple in, he still needs to concern himself about getting another. So he'll
Yep.
do exactly just that.
Yeah, but still, right now, blue's at minus 21 and the field is at 18 points, I think. So
Yeah,
even tying the field right now wouldn't win blue the game.
that's true, but there is also a 6 point field brewing at the bottom. Maybe it can go to 9, maybe blue can grab it, and then they'll be much closer than they are currently.
Yep.
Especially because MTU only has one meeple at hand, and he has a 50-50 to get another back and needs to wait for blue to get another meeple back. So blue can even maybe try to delay his connection so to not give MTU any meeples back sooner.
Would you really do that?
I mean, we have 3 tiles. Depends. I think it depends on the state of the bottom field, because even if we connect, if you give MTU a meeple back and a chance to close the city, which there is a scenario where like MTU grabs the bottom field and that we need to run after that field as well. I'll be a bit concerned about that. Yeah, not they could have killed the city, but they chose not to, just for the sake of getting. I don't really like this move.
I
I think
don't
it's a
as well, because
yeah,
if yellow gets the horse and the Dorito,
yeah. In that we can
they'd win the game if they close this city, no matter the state of this field in the end.
Yeah, and even if you don't really win the block, you could just like get 4 points on the city cap
Yep.
that MTU placed and
Or
still annoy the city a bit. So connecting it to Maples, I think it was a bit soon.
yep. I I also think this year definitely wasn't necessary. Maybe even considering you have two meeples in hand and yellow has only one, take this cap here for the 9-pointer here, or maybe over here. Maybe even a double 9-pointer.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah, but at least he takes the cap now and limits
Yeah.
yellow's options.
And I think he needs to. Well, actually, he doesn't need to grab the 9 points yet because there are two spots to do so at the
Yep.
bottom for them.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I think this field has time, maybe until the penultimate move, or
Yeah, I
and
agree.
unless you were able to connect both 9-point fields, or
Yeah,
take
it's a bit hard
one
to do it. Mhm.
and with the tile run out prevent your opponent from taking the other. That might be an option to take it earlier, but definitely not with your last meeple right now in this situation. So blue still has to close this city and then maybe stick a road into yellows or into possibly yellow city to kill it for good.
Yeah, I'd say that's what they are thinking about.
Yeah. And I
When to
say
you?
MTU going over here, indirectly defending maybe. So they'd still
Yeah,
have the starting tile.
but he's thinking about it.
Yeah, I think it's worth it. There are still 3 straights left after
Ah,
this
yeah, I
move.
was going to
So
say
he
that
goes
maybe
for
they
the
were going
road.
to do
Yeah.
this because they hadn't yet connected that second meeple.
And there's another 5-point road waiting for someone to take it. And right now
Mhm.
it's definitely more likely blue would,
Yeah,
considering
that's
yellow
a
hasn't the
counterpoint.
meeple in hand.
Oh, now MQ can do something devious. Yeah.
For sure. So now he has the 50-50 flip for this one
Yeah.
and a 75% chance for this. So completion of this city is roughly 37 points.
Hmm.
37%, not points.
The problem for blue is that even if yellow only gets
He
the
has to help.
power pile, blue can't connect. So it's actually just that specific. It's very in the favor
Actually,
for blue.
blue has to connect. There's no
Blue
other
has
way
to
to win
connect,
this game.
but
There's no
imagine yellow
way.
gets the big tile first, then blue will just be in pain.
Yeah, then blue has lost. If yellow
Yeah,
gets the cow, the game's, I think it's over.
yeah, I
Unless
agree.
there's a chance, of course, for blue to connect, yellow to close the
And
city, and blue to
and to
attack with
connect
the third
again.
farmer. Yeah, maybe curve over here would be the best option for blue. Yeah,
Yeah.
because this square is dead anyway. Yellow just drew the last remaining starting tile. And then blue could even attack the straight here. And knowing MTU's style, he might have even thought about this move right now.
That'd
I
be a bit
wouldn't
too much.
I wouldn't put it past him. Definitely
Really.
not. It would have been too much. Yeah, sure. But
Still a
there's
fun
not
idea. Still a fun idea.
yeah, there's an alternative world where he did it.
There is an alternative one with it, I agree. But it's so difficult for blue.
Yeah.
Because even if they manage to connect to the main field, MTU maybe not closing the city, maybe winning the main field, MTU can just take the 12-point field at the bottom, and then
Yeah.
there is so much blue needs to accomplish, and at the same time, so little yellow needs to accomplish to maintain their advantage.
Yep, and that's exactly the problem of using these two to attack the field. As you said, this was definitely an iffy approach, and
Yeah, the main problem I see with that is that it just reduced the latitude, the possibilities of Blue to win the game. As soon as he dropped one farmer, he had to drop a second farmer and potentially a third farmer. So, that one farmer investment, it's really a 2 or 3 farmer investment.
yeah,
So as soon as he dropped it, their options became very limited, and MTU responded by making a threat out of it, an actual threat to complete a massive city.
yeah, and so this move here, as leisurely as it seems, it's a genius move. It's just taking advantage of a situation which your opponent put on himself, and in the end, this very well could be the winning move, even that early.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I tend to
But
agree with
Adan
that.
still thinks about the curve. Not really sure. Yeah, goes for the field right now, decides it's time to take it, and MTU should or could just counter this. Although blue is more likely. No, they aren't more likely, actually. Only a tad, because there's only one cap remaining to close this city. So it's a wise choice by yellow to just block this city, kill this square. Oh, not kill it. Blue has to go here now to still have a chance to later on put the dagger exactly there. I guess
Yeah.
they will be counting right now whether there is still a city cap, the road facing to the other side left.
But
That's a
MTU just get
shame.
it. Yeah, Blue still had outs if they close that city.
Yeah.
Now they have to risk the big city of MTU being completed to have a shot. So they need obviously to connect and hope.
Yeah. Let's see. I think MTU won't connect right now.
Yeah. I think he'll just grab the 9-point field and say,
Yeah.
okay, want the meeple back, give me meeple back as well. Oh, actually, no. Maybe he doesn't know there are any caps left. But no,
I
I think
think
just to.
this move exactly shows he knows what's left. This here might just be psycho shenanigans. Maybe inducing your opponent to doubt themselves, to count again, as if
Well, it
there's
worked.
maybe faking there might still be a cap left or something.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
know,
we're
but
absolutely correct. Honestly, I'm probably wrong. Yeah, MTU knows their stuff better than I do, certainly.
I'd subscribe that as well. Meanwhile, UI Scooty won their first game versus GDLK, and other games are nearing completion too. So MTU got the cow.
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing we can do now.
No, it's game over, definitely.
It's definitely game over.
So let's quickly check. Bineria won their first game versus Pritchie on table 2. So one game, one for each team. Yeah, but Adan still I'm not sure what they are checking right now, actually. Maybe
I
trying
think they're just
to
preparing
kill
for the
this
next
option.
game, mentally preparing for the next game, or actually playing the correct move till the end. It's good practice. But honestly,
Yeah.
maybe grabbing some water or something to refresh themselves. I have 2 minutes. Let me go
Yeah,
there.
I
I come
think
back here later.
yeah, it's no problem to take a quick break between games, I think. I don't know for sure, but 5 minutes should be the cutoff time if you
Yeah,
have joined the tournament game.
I think it is.
Yeah, and now we see the red squares exploding because more and more places are dead. So let's just disable them. Doesn't matter anymore for this game anyway. So in the end, almost 30 points for MTU here, courtesy of this 9-point field.
Yeah. And that city move, that move, the city cap grabbing that was definitely the move of the game.
Yeah.
It
It's,
paralyzed blue
yeah,
completely.
that's exactly the right word. It paralyzed blue, although blue more or less paralyzed themselves beforehand.
Yeah, one can argue that as well.
Or let's say they gave yellow the chance to paralyze them with this city. But still,
Yeah,
taking this with a city cap, it's not a move everyone would have found. So
yeah,
kudos to
absolutely.
MTU for going there. Let's check the other games. Both the still
Going.
running tables 4 and 3 are covered by Alexi and Otto respectively, so we don't need to go there actually. Let's just check if these two will start their second game soon. Right now, doesn't look like they are taking a break. Or maybe they do. Well, then let's take a quick look. Seems like Claudio just completed a field invasion and will win their game decisively. And now we are off to game 2 of MTU versus Adan Las Heras. MTU leading 1-0. And at the same time, HT Bry won their first game versus Give Spam a Chance. So overall, the two Polish favorites on table 1 and table 5 won their games, whereas tables 2 and 2 to 4 go to Chile in the first round here. Yeah, standard moves so far. MTU 8 points on the scoreboard, Adan 4.
Yep. But that one has two cities, real nice looking cities, and two back-to-back splitters. That's very cute.
Yeah. Yeah, the situation here with the splitter is tricky to navigate, but not if you get the second splitter as well. That's actually the easiest solution.
Yeah. Now this tile is a bit tough to position. You really can't only use one of the city caps, so you want to drop it somewhere where the other one's a bit unusable. I don't
Yeah,
really see any field options to start this early, so
there's no great use for it right now, actually.
I'll probably
Maybe
go.
going over here, but not with the straight next to it and two starting tiles gone.
Yeah. maybe right at the bottom to the right of yellow's Dorito. Just maybe in the bottom city. If yellow tries to do something like attacking us, we
Yeah.
respond in kind.
Yeah. It's more or less the only safe option here.
Yellow, of course, recognizes that and goes away. Still a quite even position. No big advantages either way.
Yeah, although I guess the next Dorito could change a lot here. Because
Yeah.
either yellow threatens to close a 10, maybe 12-point city, or blue gets a 6 or 8-point city.
Yeah. The
And
next big tile even is pretty
yeah,
important.
could be interesting as well, of course.
Now yellow has straight line. Will just continue his roads. Oh,
That's
interesting.
MTU.
Already dropping one. That's MTU for you.
Yeah. Closing
That's
this city
pretty.
and bam,
Mhm.
these two, and you have a 15-point field with 4 moves.
Yep. But I don't doubt blue will respond in kind.
Yep. Enough
Please
options
don't
to
want
go
to
for
draw the
it.
Dorito.
In some cases, blue might even kill this square just to stay in sole possession of this field at the bottom.
And honestly, now it would not be very. It would be actually pretty good tile now. That's MTU kind of killed the field expansion to the left.
Yeah.
A curve there, and like some
Yeah,
other
but
clunky tiles, and MTU's field can be
yeah, but a
quite
curve here
restricted.
would open the field
Yeah,
over here. So it's still not as closed
not be.
as blue would
Yeah, yeah.
like it to be.
But blue can work against that, and
Mm, I would have liked this one to
oh,
restrict the
yeah,
field on the left more and maybe kill this here. But
yeah.
this at the bottom works as well.
Nice swoop. Does give the city open. Not sure how I feel about that.
I
I think
think
I like your option. Yeah.
as long as yellow's city is there, leaving this in this state isn't really that big of a problem. I mean, any big tile, any Dorito you'd attack anyway. And even
Yeah,
if yellow were using a big tile over here, I'm not really sure MTU would go for this move actually, because it
yeah, I don't think you would
only
because
doesn't make sense. So leaving this open is no problem for blue. And
no, I actually you are correct because also there is only one Dorito with road remaining. So even going for that diamond shaped city for MTU is not that easy because you only have one tile to fit if you want a Dorito, that is.
yeah.
So it's not a great configuration. So yeah, going for the road actually works quite well.
Yep. As we said earlier, whoever would get the first Dorito in this configuration would have a significant advantage, and in this case, it was blue.
And blue even drew the last remaining Dorito with the road. So now that city of MTU is really, really uncomfortable. It needs to use triple city into a triple. So we need to Dorito and then a cap or a double cap.
Yeah, because there's only one dagger remaining, one left-handed dagger, so an option like this, or maybe this one here, is not really that likely. And I guess he wouldn't waste 2 city caps on this small city anyway.
Yeah, I think
Not
if he's going to
not
develop, it's going to be with big tiles.
Yeah, for sure, because he has a field, he has options to add cities to his field. Although
In the meantime,
the field is tight right now.
yeah, 12 point currently. And in the meantime, Blue completed his monastery and left a 6 point city out in the open for anyone to grab.
Yeah, and then there's a 6-point field as well. With not very much potential, but maybe still a bit. But I guess Blue would like to attack over here. Only problem would be closing this and dropping a farmer.
Yeah,
Then
that's why
any
MTU.
city piece here, and
Mhm.
this would be killed anyway, or more or less killed. There is still one dagger remaining. But MTU preempted that move by connecting there.
Yeah, exactly.
Blue, on the other hand, prevents yellow from dropping a farmer on the right side. And overall, Blue is ahead by 70 points, actually.
Yeah, that's the power of the first monastery, I suppose.
Yep. If you can close it and are able to score points with cities while your opponent is stuck with his city building, this works out nicely for you. But still, MTU has a chance. Could, of course, get a Dorito and a city cap to close this one, and then he'd at least be closer or close enough to win the game by winning the field. Especially if you get then 6-point monasteries, which are quite easy to complete.
Yeah.
With added benefits of roads next to them. This one? Maybe.
Oh
It's
yeah,
MTU.
because which stuff are you going to use to block exactly? There are no Doritos with a road. There
Exactly.
is one dagger that blocks.
Exactly. There's the one dagger that blocks, and there is the horse that at least prevents yellow from closing the city. But
Yeah.
and what about the two roses? They block as well.
Ah, true.
So 3 blocking or 3 killing tiles, 1 blocking tile, but it's all moot. Because yellow just closed the city and even got a shield on this Dorito to close it.
Yeah. Still, yellow had to sacrifice the open 6-point city at the top, which Blue took.
Yeah. But I think taking this one,
Strategically,
going
that
for
was
the
a bit more
city
important, yeah.
was the correct move nonetheless. Because you're
Yeah,
behind,
yellow was a bit behind, yeah.
you need to aggressively score here. And aggression actually is MTU's second name, so no wonder he did go for this move. Yeah, if you don't know what to do, Adan, maybe obstruct Yellow City. There are
He
still
must be
crossroads
debating
left.
between that and getting his own meeple back.
Yeah. Yeah, but 4 meeples in
Priority should
hand,
be to block. Yeah.
I'd prioritize blocking here, definitely. Because there might even be situations where you could profit from leaving this road open. You could still attack the field over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But on the other hand, this goes for yellow as well. So in some cases, putting the curve here just to prevent the direct attack might have been or would be actually better, but I like this move.
Yeah, I think it
Now,
was strong.
yeah, double purpose move up top.
Yeah,
And due
restricting the
to
monastery and getting a field.
due to yellow's monastery on the left side, the field is open on both sides, so still potential to grow it, especially, of course, with the empty city cap up top. And now MTU might really think about something like this. No, he doesn't. It would be reckless. This year, well, it prevents your opponent from taking the cap. It prevents your opponent from taking the
Taking the
road.
roads. Yeah,
It
you talked about
pre-builds,
aggressive scoring. This is the most aggressive scoring I've seen.
yeah, it pre-builds more or less the 4-point road for yourself to take with the rows, and there are still 2 out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it, and it adds an option to attack the field if you need it or if you want it.
In the meantime,
Yeah.
Blue also tried to attack the field, but MTU got just a perfect out to annoy him the most. Completing
Yeah.
his city, putting a lot of pressure onto that
Let's see
square,
if he
and
takes the road. No, he doesn't.
he could have.
Yeah,
He really could
yeah,
have.
but he'd rather draw a curve and block this, and Adan gets a monastery and can't do much about it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say we still have the silver bullet in the deck, but we don't.
Mhm.
This year,
Well,
actually.
that also kind of can work. Well, nothing stopped it yet.
Yeah, you can't stop it. Another monastery for yellow. Will you take it? I'd say
Probably.
yes. Yeah. And Adan might just defend over here.
Yeah, he has to defend to a curve. I know Doritos. There isn't the right kind of dagger, so that defense is a must.
Because any city piece from the right side more or less would kill this attack. And this way, MTU has no easy options to kill this attack here. Would need to invest 2 tiles and a city tile to begin with. And as you can see, he needs city tiles elsewhere anyway. Oh, over here as well. There's still starting tiles out there. So it's quite likely Blue will connect to this, what is it, 18-point field right now? Yeah.
It's a very
6
close
cities.
18-point field. I mean, but when
Yeah.
the curve is played, there will be that created attacking spot, but as it is, that's the only attacking spot. Oh, not me. Yeah,
Not really, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Yes, true.
Yeah.
With a straight line, they could, but and you got the crossroads to kill that connection as well.
So as Adan maybe just taking the 2 points here, closing this city, this field at the bottom might be an idea, although they could also go over here. No, damn it. I saw a curve there.
No, that was the it was
Oh.
the yes, yeah, that happened.
I only saw that something was placed there. I didn't recognize the yellow border. Damn it.
Yeah, it was not good for Blue that thing being there. But Blue tries
No.
again.
They have to, or they should rather, because winning this field could be decisive, quite likely would be decisive. And if they don't go for the attack, then yellow would give them the chance. There are still 2 crossroads left. One has a city piece, so any limitation would be a 50-50 only. Therefore, this definitely was a must.
Yeah, but blue didn't. Could have defended to a regular curve. Not sure
Over
why they
here,
didn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
with
there
this.
weren't too many tiles to block. That's true, but I mean, if you're trying to win by getting the field, you should really try to get the field. Because now MTU can simply block that invasion, so that doesn't he? You
Yeah,
are disagreeing.
slightly, because there were only 2 pieces to effectively block, so blocking to 50-50. Although no, 3. The rose itself would block to 50-50 as well. So yeah.
I mean, but we could
Let
have.
it. Yeah, go.
I don't know. I mean, if from my perspective, if we have like a winning idea, we should go for it. Leaving it leaving up to MTU to do something like this, which now forces us, if we get a 50-50, to give him a point
Yeah.
when you could have just used the cap to prevent it. I mean, you used the cap on our own field. That's good, and we prevented the possible invasion. But I felt like a defense was a better move there.
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
suppose it kind
think.
of worked in another way, in which MTU now blocked us, so we could block their monasteries. So at least in that regard, it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, I think blue is just going for this to add additional pressure on yellow. So now they have, once they placed this vanilla up top, they had the threat of closing this small city, adding 6 points to them, and they had the threat of attacking the field at the bottom. And both would be, of course, nice moves. And they don't need to complete both options. One would be enough for them, quite likely, because the difference on the scoreboard isn't really that big. And if they manage to close this city, they'd have a second meeple in hand, and then I'd say they are more likely to win this game. But you are not wrong, definitely. So protecting over here with, I think it was 4 curves still out there back then.
Yeah, I think it was three, maybe three,
Or
4 or
3.
3 curves. I think it
Yeah.
was.
So this
Guess
one
one was gone.
definitely.
Yeah,
No, this.
I think that
So
was after.
the
So
second one was placed earlier, and this as well. So then it was 3 curves. Yeah, but still, it's a city cap. You have a field. There are a lot of caps out there. Could be quick 7
yeah,
points.
I mean, I think
It's
that what
tricky.
we are waiting is, do we want to have one option, a 50-50, to get 18 points, or we want to have an 87.5% option to get 18 points? I mean, you get the 50-50 plus something to get 7-6 points, but
Yeah.
can MTU outscore our 7-6 points?
Yeah. So
Now
MTU
that square
just
is dead.
killed blue's field attacking option, but blue got the last remaining starting tile. No, the penultimate one, and now the last one.
So,
So
yeah.
killing yellow city up top. And now blue is 5 points ahead, and that's more or less exactly the situation I talked about.
But once
Now
again, blue
they.
could have defended the connection to the 50-50. They also chose not to, instead of completing their own city.
Yeah, but I guess they recognize they don't need to. They just need to score points. Yeah, and they don't need to take over this field. And
that's good recognition, yeah.
There is no chance to attack over here. Blue just takes these 6 points. And it's a done deal for blue in this game, unless there is some magic bullet I'm not seeing. But this field is worth 9 points only, so even attacking and connecting there doesn't really
Blue
help.
can simply score.
Yellow, yeah, because blue just scores a few points and then it's done. Meanwhile, UY Scooty on table 5 won their duel versus GDLK, and the same goes for Vineria versus Pritchie on table 2. So overall match score is tied at 1 duel win apiece. Yeah, MTU just takes a few points.
Yeah, I've come around to the move of blue to start a new city. I like it. I've internalized the idea. I think it works quite well because it kills the monasteries as well. Yeah, to start that instead of defending, because it allowed blue to kill the monasteries of yellow, which was also pretty important to do. So yellow couldn't have, so that MTU wouldn't have chances to do stuff with their meeples, because MTU had to use the triangle to restrict instead of getting his monasteries back. So not defending it worked. It worked quite well. I think it was a good move because one of the tiles to block was the tile yellow needed. So yeah, it was a good find. I think I've come around to the idea of it.
Yeah, well, I think creating the second thread definitely had its merits. Of course, and the easy route would have been just to defending at the bottom and connecting there, but the connection definitely wasn't guaranteed. And there were options for yellow to still broad it. And then you don't have this second route to victory. So in the end, I don't know, 15 points or something. Oh, blue had no meeple in hand. Okay, so 12 points. So at least this one duel will need a decider, and that's all we had hoped for, I guess. At least I like deciders. How about you?
I love deciders when I'm not playing in them.
Okay. Why not?
It's
Would you rather?
too much. I mean, it's bad either way. It's like I lost the first game and I'm mounting a comeback, so pressure, or I lost the second game and I'm coming for a loss, so pressure as well. So it's not there isn't any positive out of it.
Okay, so you'd rather lose 0-2 than have a decider. Do I get that right?
No, no,
No?
no, not
Okay.
that. But I'd rather win 2-0 than having a decider.
Okay. Oh, actually, I'm noticing I'm a bit dark here. Let me switch on a light here.
Yeah, time zones are coming deep into the evening, so.
Yo, this looks a little bit better for anyone who cares. So let's refresh once again. They haven't started. Let's take a look. Close game for Tomaszek versus Claudio, and Tomaszek definitely needs to win this one to force a decider there. Looks like with the 2 meeples in hand and being starting player, he should be able to win this one somehow. Maybe just taking the points here. Let's actually quickly open. Oh, that's problematic. There's still an option for yellow to connect to the main field, but if they do, blue would connect the third farmer as well by getting one of the remaining Doritos.
And
Yeah,
blue can always block yellow's connection.
yeah, but I guess he just connects now, takes these 6 points.
Yeah, that's obviously better. Yeah.
Oh, there's a second connection route at the bottom. This field goes all the way
Oh yeah,
around.
it goes around.
Yeah, so quite likely if he connects there, then of course yellow would connect here or there or maybe there. They could pick their spot, but overall looks like it doesn't really matter because in the end, if yellow connects here, which would be better, blue will just win because they have more points right now. So Tomaszek forcing a decider, and let me refresh because these two have started their third game. So good omen for Adan, according to you, getting the first monastery.
Let's feels
see.
good.
Yeah, it feels good if you can place it in a nice
You
spot.
can always place it. I mean, if you are not
Not
discarding it, you can
always.
place it.
Not always. There will be a video coming with discarded monasteries, and not even just
the
in one
horror.
game. I guess you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've seen the horrific pictures of it.
The one from Alexi or the one from the Vaca?
I think I saw the Vaca.
Okay.
Oh, I also saw Alexis. So yeah. That.
And
Those are something you don't see very often.
yeah, definitely not. So HT Bry was able to win versus Give Spam a chance. And that's forcing the Polish players who are still playing, so MTU and Tomaszek, to win their deciders to push Poland to the final. Else, if Adam Las Heras or Claudio would win their game, Chile would play versus Japan in the finals. So now, as my guest was saying earlier, there's pressure, and it's definitely pressure. I wonder if these players know about the stakes right now.
I would rather not know.
You don't have a look at your how your teammates are doing when you're playing?
When I'm playing, I'm disconnected from literally everything. I have no notifications on. I have
Okay.
absolutely no idea how anything is going besides my game.
Okay. So I tend to check how my compatriots are doing between my games, at least. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, call it curiosity. Oh, I forgot to copy your video to the other layout. That's easy fix.
Blue has got himself 2 monasteries, which is pretty nice. But MTU, there is an interesting city situation right in the middle of the board. If Blue draws the vertical splitters, he'll be very, very, very happy.
Yep.
But if MTU can prevent and force a connection of all cities, then they'll be very happy.
Yeah, problem for MTU, of course, is that half of the big city tiles are already gone because Blue just got the second cow.
Yeah. And Blue is probably thinking how he can defend best against the connection of the cities, I'd wager.
Maybe actually just like this. The direct approach, of course, works as well. 2 extenders, 2 cows, so 4 pieces for yellow to go over here. Although Blue might get a monastery and then at least kill the cows for this square. And maybe yellow would even use this square if they'd get a regular monastery, considering they need the points here. With this situation being a bit troublesome.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think
defending
MTU
now.
even did. Yeah.
I'm not sure what he's thinking about, actually. Oh, he
Yeah,
prefers
he's doing
this
something
move?
interesting at the top. He placed a straight line, kind of restricting his own city and also the monastery, and then he's going even deeper, trying to block the monastery. I'm not sure.
I mean, was this really necessary?
Yeah,
Blue
I'm not sure what
is...
the idea was with that restriction in particular to the starting tile.
Yeah. I think Blue would be unlikely to go over there. They might use curve here, and then maybe if they'd be able to take the 4-point road, close this. But else, they could just leave this empty. On the other hand,
There was, yeah, I was going to say there was still 3 starting tiles remaining, so
yeah,
maybe leaving like a backhand option to close the city. Not sure. I'll have to think about it a bit deeper about that straight line positioning.
yeah, it's definitely an MTU move. So something not everyone would do. Let's leave it at that. And this year, I mean, sure, he didn't add the starting tile there because then the threat of getting the road blocked and the city meeple blocked would have been severe, but not doing anything about it. Let's see how this will work out for him in the end.
Yeah, I thought previously just placing the curve there to defend was
This
fine.
year, when
Yeah,
he
but
placed
then
it
he
on the
went for a
left.
more kind of aggressive idea, I suppose.
Yeah, although if he were really aggressive, he would have pointed the curve downwards to block this square next to the monastery.
The idea might be to join his 2 cities with Blue's city and then just make something that looks not very easy to complete, but maybe gets completed. So
This big city is only 4 tiles away from completion. So
yeah,
in theory, it's rather easy. And you have these 2 squares which aren't really that easy to attack. There would be this option, using the last cow over here, but I don't see Blue going for this unless this over here would be closed.
Now blue's thinking about doing something about yellow's road, probably some
Yeah, but
blocking. Not easy
I
to do
think
though.
neither option, I wouldn't go for any of these two options, actually. Just wait for straight or straight
Yeah,
here.
I
Because
agree.
now that you've placed the tile there, this allows yellow the easy defense. And why the hell does he even think about it?
Maybe he wants
Yeah.
his road people back first.
Yeah, but there are still 6 crossroads available.
He played
That's
it.
maybe he thought whether he should add a road meeple there. That actually,
That probably makes more sense. Yeah.
yeah, makes more sense, definitely. So MTU gets the last cow quite likely will connect, because this also would, at least in terms of monastery square, kill this one. Still,
Yeah.
he's thinking about it. Yeah, blue goes for the kill, taking 3 points. Anything else would be a mistake. And sometimes Carcassonne really is that clear cut.
Mm-hmm. And
Or
you get his road meeple back.
would you have placed the monastery for 6 points?
No,
Or to
no,
attack the
no,
road? Okay.
no. That was a must kill spot. He even got 3 points for it. So
Yeah.
definitely can't complain.
Yeah, you just have to
Now,
prevent
mm-hmm.
this one here.
Now blue even got to get the even got to get the meeple into the roads.
Yeah. But yellow takes this juicy monastery spot. Also 6-point field, waiting for one of these two to take it, and maybe yellow could even add another monastery or some city caps here.
Yeah.
And
I'm also
synergize.
seeing. Mm-hmm. I'm also seeing like there is a first CCCC option for yellow to
Yeah.
go for.
Oh,
And even there is maybe some more devious idea of like attacking the city and then forcing the CCC and then just devastating damage. Because that city's with the CCC there, it's quite completable.
yeah.
But yellow goes for the
Yeah.
field, as we're mentioning.
Yep. Yeah, it's more or less as expected. Still 2 daggers here if blue were to obstruct this somehow. But of course, MTU just gets the splitter. Takes the 8-pointer in this case because it also adds 1 points to your monastery. Yeah, would be really nice for yellow to get a straight now to actually prevent the quadruple city, the CCCC, as you have mentioned, going over there. And then blue would be forced to use it here. That's actually very well spotted. And that's exactly why I have a guest on this stream.
Yeah, the guest who looks for the most devious moves.
Yeah, well, why
That's
not?
the whole point. You can go there now, just yes. Not
Yeah.
even meepling. It's the last meeple as well, so it's understandable.
Yep.
There
And
are
there was
still
no great
Mhm.
way to add it to the bottom field.
Yeah.
Didn't want to go here, of course. And Adan definitely should use any road piece to attack the field.
Yeah.
Because right now it's 9 points, but we know it might become bigger in the end.
And that's a very easy to accomplish invasion.
Yeah.
Really no real danger of that farmer not merging to the big field.
Yeah. Although,
But it doesn't
sure.
get Mhm.
Yeah, go on.
Well, also just going, you got a monastery, which doesn't fulfill that purpose. So we might be thinking about whether or not you should meeple it, because if it does, then it can't really farm. You'll be down to one meeple in hand. So he's contemplating whether or not to meeple the monastery.
Yeah, I think yellow would connect there if they get anything to do so.
Yeah.
Blue just restricts this square. And now we have the forced
It's live.
CCCC situation.
It's live.
Yeah.
Well, now blue should definitely attack the field. Yep.
Yeah, they will, for sure. Hmm. You could actually consider liberating your monastery.
Yeah.
And I think he does consider it. It
He's
is.
considering it, but he doesn't like you.
But yeah, I guess he might even see this one as well.
Yeah, he goes for
And
it.
this, of course.
Uh,
Oh,
so close.
there we
No.
go. Yeah, but
Oh,
there is no way he didn't use the splitter over here, and
yeah. But I mean, if he
yeah,
was
he
feeling it,
could
he
have
could have
gone over
burned it
here, sure.
away, and then yeah, no one would. Oh, he could have attacked the city. Imagine he got the splitter in the top, ripping the bottom one. Even got the last connection.
This this
This
would
could have
have
been that
been
universe.
this would have been awesome. And
That would have been great to
actually,
see.
there are still 3 Doritos over here, and still the rows and a starting tile, so it could have even been completed. But needing 2 50/50s, and maybe your opponent drawing this one while there's no open city part elsewhere on the board, it's so unlikely.
It's very
That's
unlikely. But had he gone for it, the CCCC was still forced, so it's not really
yeah,
50-50, and then maybe you get all your things, and but
yeah.
no one would do that. Well, unless they were desperate.
Yeah, and for now, the game is tied or more or less tied anyway, so there are still other chances for MTU to win this one. Especially now that he has a meeple majority. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
goes
doesn't
for
even
the
bother. Yeah, he
immediate
goes for
field
the
attack.
connection right away because the foot is quite closed.
Yeah, well, there's
There
this
is that
option.
idea, and also like going the other way.
Maybe a ninja here. Or this one would work later on this year once this cap is closed.
Yeah.
So still chances. And yellow isn't connected yet, but with
Mhm.
2 vanillas plus more tiles over here, curves, Doritos are gone, monasteries as well, so only the curves left. So more or less 4 pieces for yellow to connect. And blue quite likely has to create another way to attack the field.
Yeah, and Google also needs to figure out how to get the meeple back. I mean, they know how to get any type, either the starting tile or the
Yeah.
vanilla. release one of the monasteries and then turn the game through the field.
Yeah, but they are already waiting for a long time on these pieces.
They have indeed.
And yellow got starting tiles and the vanilla. So now this one, blocking this square to the 2 remaining vanillas.
Yeah,
And
it's the same
also
tile that
creating an option
the
here,
option to entry.
like this. Yeah, yellow needs the same tile in these spots, and of course would take this one. Unless they'd wanted to block this option. Or restrict this option, I should say.
Yeah, but given the other hand, yellow probably just get himself into the far.
I think yellow could even
Now,
restrict
yeah,
this now. That's MTU. He sees things like this.
yeah, there was really not much else to do with the tile. That restriction works quite well. But there is still the idea of attacking on the right through the Dorito with roads. There are still 3 of those, only one.
Let me actually activate the coordinates for now. So, of course, if you wanna mention a specific, oh damn it,
That's quite nice.
That just was energy saving on my second screen. Yeah, if you wanna mention a specific field, you can call it by name right now. So you mentioned this attack from 5 minus 4, or
Yeah,
over
that
here?
one to 5 minus 4 to 5 to
Yeah.
4 minus 4 through the Dorito. There is only one
Through
blocking at
Dorito.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yellow blocks it. So let me turn them off again, because I find them pretty distracting. But
They're a bit, but it's fun to pinpoint the stuff.
yeah,
Kind of using
as
to the
as
right
long
of the
as
bottom of this.
yeah, as long there's no better option, because I think you should be able to draw as well, but I'm still a bit away from realizing this. Not realizing this,
One day.
implementing this. Then this would be really great. You could
Yeah,
draw with your, no, not your favorite color, because that would be yellow, and yellow is reserved for the players, of course. You would have to
I would be
choose
fine
another one.
using a more visible color, even like something black, something that stands out to actually give good indications.
Yeah, I think I have black set up on some shortcut as well, but can't remember it right now. So yellow just prevents blue from closing the city. They don't
Drawing the
even
last starting tile
go
that
for the,
will really need it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's still hope for blue. There are still 2 vanillas left.
Yeah. And they probably need them both, because if yellow gets one, he'll just get the field.
Yeah. I'm not sure I like this curve orientation, because sure, you get more points, but I don't see that these points here, which you could tag on to your road, would win you the game. So I would have preferred this one, and then hope to draw a vanilla and later on attack the field again. Even if you forfeit a few points for this road option, which, yeah, now definitely.
That was a good idea, because blue basically always gets a meeple back if yellow does.
Yeah, or if yellow closes here.
Yeah, either
so
there or the joint
either
road,
there or
or
there. Yeah. So I think this is a wasted chance.
yeah,
Even if
because
it's,
now blue can't attack the field, can he? Yeah, they played your move, he could have.
Yeah, this one is it's all dead. There is no ninja on the left side because there are no curvies left. Yeah, could have. I think this curve was placed by yellow after blue placed this one. So, but still, there were an outside chance to connect here. But there is or was one because blue just no, yellow just got the rose, else blue could have gone for this connection through the crossroad.
Oh, and blue ran out of time, sadly. But yellow got the vanillas anyway, so
yeah. At least yellow won on the board as well, and not just
yeah.
by time. So, and the other one is over as well, and oh boy. If the auto scoring script is correct, Claudio Jorquera won the game versus Tomaszek. And this then would mean MTU's effort didn't help. Yep. And it is actually correct. So let's increase the end result a bit here. So congratulations, Chile.
Congratulations. Well done.
3-2. Exactly. Well done. At least what we have witnessed. So overall, the expected close outcome, at least 2 deciders. Yeah, and even a clock violation in the end, even if it didn't matter. Yeah, so we'll be having a final of Japan versus Chile. Do you know which is the starting time or the regular starting time for Americas versus Asia? I would have to look it up.
I think UTC it's quite early, like midnight or 1 a.m. UTC maybe. I think there was a United States, maybe Japan some time ago. It was, I'm not sure.
Let me actually check it.
About the UTC conversion.
Yeah, although it doesn't really matter. So problem for me is I won't be able to stream the final in this case, no matter when it will take place, unless they'd go for a late European Sunday time, which could work out. I mean, Japan is UTC +9, so midnight my time, that's 11 p.m. your time, would be 7 a.m. Japan. But I'm not sure they play at 7 a.m. on a Monday morning. No, I guess they will play somewhere in the European night from Saturday to Sunday. Yeah, and Poland, Ukraine quite likely will play somewhere in the European evening, so 6, 7, 5 UTC, something like that. Yeah, so nice event this was, and
yeah, really high level games, I would say.
Yeah, it's
even with the decider, which is always great.
Yeah, it's a bit sad we couldn't switch over to Claudio. Oh, actually the tool was wrong, or it didn't score the last 2 points of Tomaszek.
So it was a tie.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be
Let's actually do you still have a few minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then let's actually check the last moves of this game, because I would like to see if there was anything that could have gone differently. Let's pick Claudio. Okay, could you assess the situation? And I have to check something on YouTube for the moment.
Mm. Okay, Claudio does have an extremely point hand. Yellow has a big ruin. There are two tides dead meeples. One monastery for blue. There is a field. There are actually two separate fields. Yellow has a 9-pointer plus a 6-pointer. Blue has a 12-pointer, and yellow is another 3-pointer plus a monastery. So blue is definitely ahead, especially having extra B-point hands. And from what I see from the tile count, there is no option for the yellow field to merge with the blue field. But yellow still can attack from the bottom and gain those extra 9 points for themselves. So it's definitely in blues. Not definitely in blues. Yellow does have a point advantage, so
Yeah, it's actually not so right now. Yellow is ahead even by
yeah,
8 points, so he
yeah.
must have lost it somehow.
Mhm.
Quite
Well, there is also
likely.
an option not invading, and then the fields on the right can merge. The 6-pointer and the actually
Yeah,
12-pointer of yellow. And that will be a -6-point move, even +5 for blue if they meeple the road. So
yeah.
yellow is
I
ahead, but blue can do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. So I guess blue will go for the city, or they don't, because there's only one cap left. They could protect their field, but not sure that's necessary or wise. Hmm. What would you do?
Uh, I feel like they need to protect because yeah, going on the city is like +2 points, +4 if we close it. But then if yellow connects, it's -9.
Yeah.
So they went +2 and not defended -9. Because what's Blue's idea? Blue's idea to win is probably merge yellow's fields on the right. So that gives him 6 points. If they
Yeah.
meeple 11 points, he'll be slightly ahead. So if they are slightly ahead, they really don't need to be even more ahead, just preserve their advantage. So I think I would block the connection
Yeah. Going
option
over there.
for yellow.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely has merits, this move. And let's see what blue did. Yeah,
They
they
did
did go
exactly
for
that,
the
yeah.
block. So Tomaszek maybe just extending this road, hoping to draw a crossroad.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really do anything about the connection thread up there. I think you just have to hope to draw the remaining curve and crossroad.
Yeah. Maybe yellow might try to invade Blue's fields, like you said, next to the monastery, but then meepling the field outside of the curve
Which spot?
in -5, -4, where you were pointing out before. But
Yeah,
instead of doing nothing, like meeple the field outside, it's 3 points. Then you
yeah,
join through Blue's road, and if Blue closes, the problem is if Blue closes, they also drop a farmer, so
yeah.
it's probably not the greatest idea. There.
I don't know actually, because
Yeah, the farm doesn't really merge easier, even if they close it.
Yeah, there are still the
There are still the
2 Doritos,
Doritos, so that's yeah.
but they have to get the splitter beforehand, and only a 50/50 shot. So I think this option definitely not a bad one. Although you take away this 4-point road scoring away from you.
Yeah, but I mean,
Um,
even if blue does get the crossroads, they won't score the points because they want to merge yellow's field. So we are not
yeah, yeah,
leaving
yeah.
it to blue. So
That's for sure. I meant if you invest your
yeah,
last
they don't get
meeple,
the points as
then you
well. Yeah,
can't
I
take the
agree.
4 points yourself.
Yeah, that's also true.
So I'm not sure if at +7, and let's consider this merger on the right at +1, I would go for this field attack, but actually it's a 12-point field, and if you can tie it, this could be all you need as yellow here. Let's check what yellow did. Yeah, okay.
You went for your move.
Mm, yeah, but I'm not sure my idea was the better one, actually. The problem is this is all in. You need
Yeah.
to get something over here, and even if you connect there, and let's take the case of the crossroad, or doesn't matter actually. The moment you connect, or even before, blue just goes, for example, with this Dorito over here and reattacks the field again, and they are very likely to connect, and then
Yeah,
you
that
have
would be the
gained
problem.
nothing but the 1 point for your monastery with this move, and I think that's why leaving it empty is the better move.
Yeah,
At
I
least
agree.
I think
I
that's the
think I agree.
bottom
Yeah.
line. Yeah. Okay.
And now do you meeple
Why
it? Because
why
no,
does
we don't meeple it.
blue
No.
point the city
Ah,
end upwards instead of downwards?
hmm. I mean, not to yeah, to complete it's not the greatest. But I suppose if yellow wanted to go for the field option, blue always responds in kind and also neutralizes a threat like this.
Yeah, but I think if you
But
go
yeah,
this
but
way, you close it,
yeah, no,
you
that's better.
drop the
I think
farmer, and in regards to your road, does it really matter?
I think the
Should
road matters. I think it's just the field equity that's at stake here.
Yeah.
No, I like yeah, cutting down is better to completion and also to even farm afterwards. There is no harm in that.
Yeah, I think so too. So straight for yellow, maybe just here?
Or kill the city forever.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Because then you can even if you
Yeah, you
need to
have to.
attack the field, right? If you get like the Dorito and you
Yeah,
farm and then blue can't block,
yeah. So going over here,
yeah,
and
after
you'd
killing
have
the city,
the 50/50 for the curve, unblockable
hmm
50/50, as you mentioned. And you'd have actually a great use for the curve, which you'd hope to draw anyway.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's not even a 50/50 because you still have the
The
crossroad
crossroads
left.
as well, so it's 75
Yeah.
to toss to do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
but you definitely have to kill the city. That
yeah, we need to kill it
was my
now.
first intention as well. Just lost track a bit here. Because you are still ahead, and this way you prevent the worst outcome of the city, which would be blue closing it and adding a farmer for Right now, 7 points. Yeah, yellow does it. And blue takes 3, no, 4 points. They connect over here.
Yeah, so it's a 10-point move.
10-point move, yeah. Which puts them at +3. But still, yellow is the starting player. Could take 5 points now or just the 2 up top. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Not really. Well, given the remaining tiles, I would even take these points now.
Yeah, those 5 points.
Yes. I mean, 4 points with the curve, okay, but or over here rather, I'm not sure I wouldn't take this. Let's see.
You can't really do anything. Oh, just 2.
Just the 2, and then blue gets the curve. Quite likely, anything better than these 4 points now? Maybe just this
2
one.
and then see what it gets.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem though with the problem with waiting though is there any way to take 3 points with a splitter or with the Dorito? I don't see a field you could take.
No, yeah, so they need to do that to the farmer. Yeah, it's 5 points.
Yeah. I think what's there? An extender which could go over here for 3 points as well, but I guess you'd have to take the farm now.
Yeah, it's 3 points now. You never do more than that.
Ooh.
Ooh. And yellow gets the extender.
Yeah, yellow gets the extender, so just taking the points now. So in the end, it didn't matter.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
this was
boy.
shielded.
But it's shielded and
But this is shielded.
oh, damn.
And they tied, so.
And that's exactly why they could take the 3 points with it. But you can't tell me that they fought about this shield when they didn't meeple this farm. I wouldn't believe this if anyone told me that.
It's 3 points. You wouldn't. I mean, you could just not get the shielded tile. I mean,
exactly. It's a 50-50. And
so it was just pure this. Let's flip. Who gets the shielded tile?
It's pure luck, I'd say.
Yeah. And now this for 2 points.
2 points and
it's a tie.
And it's a tie. Yeah. And now this one works. Maybe I just didn't look in the right moment because actually there is a specific command to after the game is completed, run the scoring once again. It's a bit tricky due to BGA's scoring automatic, but at least in my tests it worked. So, boy, close game over here. And 50-50 flip for the win in the end. And for the final, oh boy, must have been nice to witness this live. And
sure,
I guess the more emotional streamers had a field day over there. I'll have to watch them. So yeah, I think we are done for now. Or do you have something to add still?
No, just to congratulate Chile once again for their historic run to the finals, and now they have to face Japan,
Yeah.
which won't be easy. They certainly know that by now. So it'll be very fun Carcassonne next week, also with the bronze medal match between Ukraine and Poland.
Yeah. Yeah.
So still high level Carcassonne to remains to be played, and yeah, that's great.
Yep, wise words. Thank you, Glovir. Thank you, Guilherme, for being on the stream. And
Yeah,
thank you to those few who still are here. I'll see you sometime, maybe next week, but I'm not sure. I'm away a few days. Else, have fun enjoying these matches. So the bronze medal game, Ukraine versus Poland, and the final, of course, Japan versus Chile on any stream. Doesn't matter. Watch Carcassonne. It's great sport. Okay. Thank you all and bye bye.
bye.